Has the president or anyone at the White House ever asked or suggested that you open an investigation of anyone? Yes or no, please, sir?
The president or anybody else?
Seems you would remember something like that and be able to tell us.
Yeah, but I'm trying to grapple with the word suggest. I mean, there have been discussions of matters out there that they have not asked me to open an investigation, but
Perhaps they've suggested,
I don't know. I wouldn't say suggest.
hinted,
I don't know.
inferred. You don't know. Okay.
MVP, Madam Vice President.
She's good. Yeah.
Knew it before anybody else. Is Bill Barr still remained unimprisoned this morning, Travis?
As of right now,
He still remains the heat miser.
I'm going to have a big, giant cup of Carnation Instant Bitch then. Okay. Adam Schiff, our friend, Chairman Schiff, breaking this down. Obviously, he and Eric Swalwell were the two targets of this.
Actions in going after members of Congress with baseless subpoenas. Actions in going after reporters the way that they have. The gag orders that were issued. But also, as you point out, the intervention of the Attorney General, apparently in this investigation involving our committee, but also to reduce the sentence of Roger Stone, someone committed of perjury, lying to cover up for the president. The dismissal of the case against Michael Flynn, another person convicted or pled guilty twice to lying to federal authorities. So I think that the Attorney General has an obligation to clean house.
Yes.
yes.
Thank you, Chairman. So, yeah, Michael Flynn is out and planning another insurrection.
Oh, yeah.
So this is what happens when there aren't consequences.
Yes.
Right? Stone and whoever, Flynn, whoever else has been pardoned, they're out now.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Stone's bodyguards kind of got in trouble yesterday.
Yes. Roger Stone needs to be under the prison for the amount of bull he's been involved in. Bill Barr, okay, we have to put enormous pressure on the DOJ.
Yeah.
That there has got to be consequences. We can say this every day here, but we cannot create this precedent. This is just the latest story of the egregious abuse of power and corruption in the Trump. Merrick Garland's got some splaining to do today. I know he's talking about voting rights, and we better hear some serious stuff with serious teeth in it today, not just a letter to Arizona about what they're doing to protect our democracy, our voting rights. And this is our democracy that we would just let. Peter Strzok was on this morning. Yep. He said it was apparent that Bill Barr was well aware he was lying when he denied any knowledge of investigations requested by Trump into his political enemies. They played that exact clip with Kamala Harris. Remember when he went up to Nancy Pelosi and went, "Oh, did you bring your handcuffs today?" Yes, you need to actually put some handcuffs on Bill Barr.
Yes.
First of all, he needs to be called up to testify immediately. Put him in jail if he refuses. I mean, it's just this is so beyond. So, Strzok watched this clip that we just played with Kamala Harris, and he said, "As an investigator, you begin to understand when people are not telling the truth, avoiding answers. When I see long pauses, vague answers, refusing to answer, it's clear things are there. It's clear Kamala Harris knew exactly what was going on, and Bill Barr knew what he was hiding there. It was clear he wasn't being forthcoming in his answers to those questions." By the way, this goes to from the Boston Globe. When dealing with a potential effort to shield a president from criminal consequences, the scales of justice lean toward disclosure. Nothing in the rule of law prevented Garland from complying with a judge's order that those memos be released. This is the original cover-up.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that needs to be revisited today. And you need to release this memo. Like, why are we... You're not defending the institution anymore. You're defending two crooks, Trump and Barr, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Adam, give me 15. So Chairman Schiff, who obviously was the target of this, along with Eric Swalwell.
We're obviously deeply suspicious of what the Justice Department was doing. More than that, this looks like a patent abuse of the department. Yet another example of the president politicizing, using the Department of Justice as a cudgel to go after his enemies. He would repeatedly attack our committee, attack me personally, call for investigations of our committee while we were doing an investigation of him. And apparently those pleas were met with a receptive audience at the very top level of the Justice Department.
So the way to deal with this is not to go, okay, well, we're just going to do better now. We're going to be completely apolitical. That's fine.
Yeah.
But that does not mean...
You need a yes and here.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes, and thank you. We're improv artists, Chris.
we are. Yes.
You can't just go, okay, well, we're just going to let all that go because we're going to do... It's like, there's no we. You are not the same. There's no we, Kimosabe. You are not the same as the unbelievable criminality and corruption of the Donald Trump, Bill Barr era, right? I mean, now we have like how many layers of times this has happened. Okay.
11 billion layers.
Yes, thank you. In case you've just woken up and you've been under a rock,
A lot of
what
people
we
are
are
just
referring
waking
to
up.
is the New York Times expose. As the Justice Department investigated who was behind leaks of classified information early in the Trump administration, it took the highly unusual step. Prosecutors subpoenaed Apple for data from the accounts of at least 2 Democrats. That would be Chairman Schiff and Representative Swalwell on the House Intelligence Committee. Here's the ringer. Aides and family members, one was a minor.
Yep.
All told, the records of at least 12 people, a dozen people tied to the committee were seized in 2017 and 18, including those of Chairman Schiff. Prosecutors first of all, this just gets worse, right, as you keep reading this story. Mm-hmm. So this was originally under Jeff Sessions,
Yes.
Yep.
who was, of course, being pressured by Trump. Mm-hmm. They were hunting for the sources behind news media reports about contacts between Trump associates in Russia because they were guilty of sin, which has been proven since then, of conspiracy, of collusion, of all of, and more importantly, 10 counts of obstruction to cover all that. Okay. So I guess they were persnickety about people reporting on that kind of thing, treasony stuff. Okay. Ultimately, the data and other evidence did not tie the committee to the leaks. That's the important part. And so what happened is that's part of why Sessions is out. He gets Barr in. Barr keeps going, even though they've already found nothing. Hires an outside prosecutor, right? Mm-hmm. Barr, okay, blah, blah, blah. Right. So, but Bill Barr revived the languishing leak investigation after he became Attorney General. He moved a trusted prosecutor from New Jersey with little relevant experience to the Maine Justice Department to work on the Schiff-related case and about a half dozen others. While the Justice Department investigations are routine, they could not recall. No one can recall an instance in which records of lawmakers has been seized as part of one. Of course, they were like, "Oh, we don't know if they did Republicans." Of course, they didn't do Republicans too.
Right. It's a
Also,
Republican-
So how they need to be asked today? Are you okay? You're okay then with the Biden Justice Department doing this to you, right? Because this is fine.
Also, taking into consideration the fact that, remember, Kash Patel, Devin Nunes' guy,
Yes.
was running information back and forth to the White House during the same period, giving them information.
Yes.
So those are the people who were, leaking information. Meanwhile, they're accusing
Right.
the Democrats of leaking.
Right. Prison, all of them.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And isn't Kash still at the
Yes,
Pentagon?
that's the other thing. Some of these people are still there.
Clean
there needs
house.
to be, yes, like Chairman Schiff just said, clean house number one. Anyone occurred to you that it's the Trump administration that's the deep state? This IG behind the
Sure.
Yep.
Lafayette Park thing that everyone knows is bull, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Trump did everything that a strongman dictator does.
Right. Okay. So, and again, here's it just keeps getting. It's a bad lasagna, Chris. It's a really hard
7-layer dip
Yes, of
like
awful,
asbestos
of
and nails
corruption and criminality.
and broken glass.
Yes.
Okay.
We're walking on broken glass again this morning.
Is that what we're doing?
Not
Every
sunshine.
day.
Not sunshine.
Every day.
It's broken glass that's been heated by sunshine. It's hot, molten broken glass. Okay. Moreover, just as it did in investigating news organizations, the Justice Department secured a gag order on Apple that expired this year, according to the person familiar with the inquiry. So lawmakers did not know they were being investigated until Apple informed them last month.
Uh-huh. And Schiff said last night that they thought it was a spam.
Right.
When they got
A lot
those
of people thought it was
notifications. They
spam.
thought it was like a phishing
Yeah,
expedition
because
against
this
them.
doesn't happen in America.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so one former Justice Department official said, notwithstanding whether there was significant predication for the leak investigation itself, including family members and minor children, strikes me as extremely aggressive. I'm going to use a word more like illegal.
Yeah.
In combination with former President Trump's unmistakable vendetta against Congressman Schiff. It raises serious questions about whether the manner in which this investigation was conducted was influenced by political considerations rather than by purely legal ones, said Captain Understatement. Lawyers have to be so careful.
Yes, they do, and I'm glad they are. We leave it to you to be hair on fire.
Oh, I didn't mean that. You know what? Look what happened.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, my thing got on my box,
Moved
and I
over?
meant that. That's right next to that. That's what I meant to say.
Well, sometimes you
About
do a
not
fart so
being
robust that you feel like you should say hallelujah.
Yeah.
Oh, I just thought
Well,
Sean's...
that's not that one. That's this one.
Oh.
That's a better fart noise than I currently have in my box.
Okay.
Yeah, Sean has the good ones.
Okay.
All right. That's something really shifts than the tectonic
Yes. And the
colonoscopic
pressure all goes
plates.
away.
Yes. Oh, like this morning.
Oh,
that was
what?
good. Yeah, that was good.
Oh, honey.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I'm glad you said shift and not the other word I thought you were going to say.
Something, when there's a real shift, it's wow, okay. Wow. Yes. Okay.
How did we get there?
That made some room. Okay.
At least some pressure.
Oh, let me finish. After records provided no proof of leaks, prosecutors in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Washington discussed ending that piece of their investigation, but Mr. Barr's decision to bring in an outside prosecutor helped keep the case alive. In August 19, there was another leak investigation that said prosecutors did not recommend their superiors that they charge Mr. Comey over memos that he wrote in which he shared his interactions with Trump, which were not ultimately found to contain classified information. Remember the leakers, Comey and Schiff, so many leakers. But Mr. Barr was wary of how Trump would react. And in fact, indeed, Trump berated the attorney general who defended the department, telling the president there was no case about Mr. Comey to be made, but the investigation remained open into whether Comey had leaked other classified information about Russia. Okay. There are actually not enough jails. I think there's not enough jails for what okay. I'm going to explode this morning. I'm going to, you know what? Lewis Black and I are just going to be like,
dear.
like a wormhole's going to open in the universe.
God.
I'm just going to
Oh,
be
boy.
screaming angrily at each other
So-
to end Legendary Comedian Week.
So make sure you tune in next hour because that's going to happen.
Yeah,
And
Lewis
we're
Black.
going to let it
Lewis
happen.
Lewis Black and I are going to go on a rant to end all rants. Okay. And we have another lawyer, another fancy lawyer, former and future Alan Grayson
Yes.
will join us, who is running against Rubio. I'm going to be honest right out of the chute that I've cheated on him multiple times with Val Demings, and I love Val Demings. I'm very excited about her run for the Senate as well. But anyway, Alan Grayson, an old friend, and we want to hear his thoughts on what's going on and his run.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And also, I wore my Sean T-shirt because Sean Comiskey is not dead. How does this start? He's joined you, Travis Geist, in the afterworld.
Chantergeist.
Oh, Lisa tweeted,
Yep.
"Oh, I'm sorry to hear that Sean is gone. I'm not on Facebook, so I missed that. I hope he's okay. I loved his voice and his dry wit. Could you take out your organ for yourself, please, Sean?"
Sure.
Okay, here's what happened. When Chris came back, oh, you moved off camera because you're a diva and you can't sit here with us at the table.
I'm on camera.
Okay, now
He
you are,
is.
but you weren't then. So that's somebody started the rumor that you had died.
I
so
was
that's
on camera then.
So that's how Travis Geist was born. Like you were just an otherworldly voice rather than a
I was sitting right there. I
right.
was
But
on
it has
camera.
caused you to scream multiple times. I'm still here.
I'm not dead.
Okay, so then a hate letter writer called Sean Shane.
Yeah.
So that was a running joke, but Sean is still here, and
right.
obviously. that's why
Well,
I
he doesn't
wore
have
my-
a camera on him. But,
Oh, okay. See, that's.
Okay,
oh,
yeah,
all right.
okay,
Thank you.
yeah,
Turn the
okay.
camera on, Sean.
Yeah.
Yes, because we're experimenting with new setups
Yeah.
and cameras. So that's
I
why.
gave up my camera for our Zoom guests.
That's right.
Yes, he is selfless like Jesus, but not dead like Jesus.
And until we have a guest on, it's Travis's camera.
That's right.
Which is
Right.
like in addition to a lot of celebrities that Chris has killed off,
You can
he's killed off
support-
Sean and myself.
Right. You can support Sean still being alive by buying the Sean Says t-shirt at StephanieMiller.com. Sean Says Saki Bomb.
Do proceeds from that go to Sean?
Lisa,
No.
I know Lisa seemed actually very upset. Sean's right. Wow. That was a very nice eulogy, though, wasn't it,
Wave
Shane?
again. Wave again, Sean.
I hope he's okay. I loved his voice and his dry wit. Didn't we all?
Yes, we did.
We barely knew him. And so young.
So young.
So young, so sad.
He's leaving behind so much avocado toast.
Oh, democracy in America and Sean all in the same week. Well, God rest ye merry gentlemen. Okay.
That's not what
All
you
right.
say at a funeral.
I don't know. If it's at Christmas, you do.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Yeah, those Christmas funerals that are so jolly.
Sean and Shane are okay.
Okay.
All right.
Good.
The kids are all right. 21 minutes after. I mean, do we even need to do a commercial for the Steph store? I mean, the shirts are flying off the right. Look at this. Look at it. Get your face
Look
up
at
there.
that.
Get your face up there. Look. We have them for Team Pfizer, Team J&J. We are all Team Vaccine here. We have amazing.
That's right.
And you can get it on everything. Right, Chris? Not just shirts.
Bath mats, shower curtains. You can get it on art, a clock. You can get
Duvet.
a selfie bomb on a clock.
We have Stephanie Miller swag. We have sexy liberal swag. And, of course, all the vaccine shirts. Get it now. StephanieMiller.com. Whee!